About 3 months ago, I got into editing that I found out by playing custom regions in Railroad, and the idea really got into me. So the first room I did is the one you're seeing on the screen right now, and I decided I would add it to my own region, and because I learned a lot more during those months of editing. So I decided this will be fun, and also it fits the region. So I got into the work. I didn't record the first steps, I'm sorry, but most things I did was trying to learn about things I could improve the room on, because I wanted to keep the same feel, the same cage in center with the giant cabinet creature, cabinet beasts, is how they're called in the files. So I wanted to do something that still keep the vibe, and at the same time put a bit more of depth, because one thing that my room used to lack a lot is the feeling of depth. There was not a very good usage of the 3 layers. I actually think I only used 2 of them. That might explain why it is so flat. So I got to think, what could I change? How could I fit this into the region I already have? And how could this work with the general piece? And I found out it would be good as a way to connect to the metro that I'm working on, and at the same time be starting to go away from shaded, so the lights will be a bit brighter like the further you go, but not so bright because this region is also connected to Subterranean. But enough talking about the region itself. I start feeling the problems of how would I make this work, because I was making things on the spot. I was just figuring out what everything would look like and making it on my way. And I was figuring out that this was not going to take me very far, because I was running out of ideas very quickly. The cabinets in the background and the big wall with fences was mostly of what I had. But for the first layer, I didn't have anything, so I got inspiration on Auto Expense and decided to do a bit of the design it uses there. The color palette was also a bit hard to find the best one, because since it's next to Underhang, at least that's according to my region, I had to make it a color palette that I don't like so much, but also something that kind of reminds of Shaded Citadel. Fortunately, after tweaking a lot, I found out a good color palette that I come to like a lot. And I decided to try out new stuff in this room, mostly fairy particles, because I never used them before and I thought they could do some really good things for my room. Of course, I started messing around and things look kind of weird. But eventually I figured out how things work and what each thing do, and so things started working better. And it gave that really cool effect of particles falling down. That was mostly what I wanted, like some sort of green particles, but like after they're worn out or they're fading away, so they're not flying like they used to. They're just falling down slowly as particles of energy they are. So I like this a lot. I decided to keep this, and I was still pushing with pushing the idea of how could I make this room even manageable to go through. But eventually I had an idea that kind of saved me, that is using Outer Expense platforms. Those I have been using before in my region, so it wouldn't be stretching too much if I added them right now in this place, mostly because the room before it also has it. So I found I was saved for a while, but I still had to figure out the parkour for the left side. But this didn't last very long, as I simply added a mesh of dirt and a pipe, and there we go, new place to bounce off, and you are on the other side. So after that I just started tweaking around, putting props, making sure everything was looking right, that the design was working. I had a few problems with the background because the wall was not looking very good with the ceramic tiles, so I decided to change it for concrete. I added a bunch of plants that are very common in this region. And then I just started making the details, making sure that everything was gonna look as similar as it should be to the region. And also its own room, so it has its own identity. And then I added the plants, of course, and mostly it was this room after the effects, and this is how it looked. Wow. Yeah, this is how it started. This is my very first room, and now I kind of feeling proud of the difference. I mean, I love it a lot. And well, that was the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Bye bye.